Have you ever stopped to think that maybe your life is completely different, but you haven't even realized that you are living in the fifth dimension? Well, while many still get lost trying to get there, you may have already crossed this portal without even realizing it. No, it is not an exaggeration. And before you think I'm talking about something too distant or mystical, let me tell you, the signs are all around you, and more, inside you. They manifest themselves in small everyday situations, such as that sudden change of priorities, the inexplicable energetic physical symptoms, or even that sharp intuition that saves you at the last minute. The truth is that we have been conditioned to look at life in a limited way, as if we were trapped inside a clock of hands, always chasing linear time. But the ascension process happens silently, between the lines of routine. And here's the controversy: maybe everything you've been taught about success and happiness is delaying your soul evolution. The good news: by recognizing these signs, you can accelerate your spiritual transformation and live with more authenticity, more connection to nature, and much more flow of life. Curious? Get ready, because what you're going to discover here can completely change your perception of reality. Have you ever noticed how, sometimes, days just slip through your fingers, while at other times, minutes seem like eternities? This feeling is not by chance. As expanded consciousness begins to manifest, nonlinear time begins to govern your experiences, signaling that you are touching the doors of the fifth dimension. It is as if the flow of life dances outside the conventional clock, pushing you into the present moment, where true spiritual transformation resides. Try, for example, turning off your cell phone alarm on a Sunday and just listening to the sounds of nature when you wake up. This connection with nature attunes you to this new high frequency. The perception of changing time brings with it a silent invitation to slow down. We are no longer stuck in the unbridled clock race, and this awakens energetic physical symptoms such as sudden tiredness or unexplained energy spikes. Your body is adjusting to the ascension process, and this alters its relationship with the natural cycles. In this state, energetic alignment becomes a priority, and you begin to notice daily synchronicities, such as thinking about someone and the person calling you right away. This mysterious dance of universal energy shows you that life in the fifth dimension flows in an amazing way. Now, be careful. This change in temporal perception also affects your emotions and hidden priorities. As the inner awakening deepens, an almost inevitable shift in priorities emerges. That rush to achieve external goals gives way to a deep desire for self-knowledge and authenticity. You realize that living in nonlinear time means relying more on intuition and less on old to-do lists. Have you ever thought about starting the day by asking your own heart what it wants to accomplish? This opens the door to the next big symptom of this body realignment, which involves the natural withdrawal of some people around you. It's curious how, suddenly, some conversations start to sound empty, almost like a distant echo. It's not that people have changed, it's you who are tuning into a high frequency. On the journey towards the fifth dimension, this natural distancing occurs, as if the universal energy was redesigning its circles of coexistence. Energetic sensitivity sharpens, and you notice when the dialogues do not vibrate at the same frequency as your expanded consciousness. Want a practical example? Try to observe how you feel after certain encounters. If you get drained, it may be time to realign your connections. And there is no reason to blame. On the contrary, it is a healthy symptom of your ascension process. As you embrace authenticity, the old social masks begin to fall, revealing what was once hidden under the pressure of external expectations. Energetic physical symptoms, such as that feeling of heaviness when meeting certain people, serve as a reminder of your inner awakening. It's as if your body, with its intuition becoming more and more acute, is signaling, hey, this environment is not in energetic alignment with the evolution of the soul. Pay attention to these signs, as they are powerful compasses. Curiously, as some relationships dissolve, others, absolutely magical, begin to emerge out of pure synchronicity. New connections, guided by self-knowledge and the flow of life, begin to fill this space, guided by a purer and truer energy. These are encounters that seem written in non-linear time, where each person arrives as a mirror of their own spiritual transformation. And by the way, this fine-tuning makes room for something even more fascinating, an extremely sharp intuition, which will become your constant ally in the next stage of this journey. Have you ever had that inexplicable feeling of simply knowing what's going to happen, even without any concrete proof? Well, that is your intuition, and it is operating at very high voltage thanks to the high frequency of the fifth dimension. When expanded consciousness opens, it is as if the universe begins to whisper directly in your ear, guiding your choices with disconcerting clarity. Simple everyday things, such as changing the commute to work and, in doing so, avoiding a gigantic traffic jam, are living proof of synchronicity in action. These small confirmations fuel your inner awakening. The most fascinating thing is that intuition doesn't scream, it whispers, and the more you connect with the universal energy, the more these whispers become practical wisdom advice. Do you want to strengthen this connection even more? Set aside daily moments of silence to listen to yourself, practice meditations aimed at self-knowledge, such as mindfulness or even the technique of creative visualization. These habits open the door to a bodily and energetic realignment, fine-tuning your energetic sensitivity to a point where the answers seem to flow naturally, as if the flow of life is holding your hand and leading you down the right road. And, believe me, the more you honor this inner guidance, the more your spiritual transformation accelerates. Decisions are no longer made based on fear or doubt and start to follow the illuminated path of authenticity. You become almost like a human radar for synchronicities, noticing patterns and signals that once seemed invisible. This creates a harmonious dance with non-linear time, where choices seem to anticipate challenges. Get ready, because this fine-tuning between you and the universe will reflect directly on your physical body as well, bringing some very curious sensations. Don't be alarmed if you suddenly feel a strange tingling in your hands, a slight pressure on your head, or even heat rising up your spine. These energetic physical symptoms are a natural part of the ascension process into the fifth dimension. Your body, faithful companion on the journey, is trying to keep up with the high frequency that your expanded consciousness has been achieving. It is as if he is undergoing a profound body realignment, reconfiguring each cell to vibrate in tune with the universal energy. At these times, a bath in coarse salt or walking barefoot on the earth helps stabilize the flow of life within you. You may even notice that, in moments of strong energetic alignment, goosebumps appear out of nowhere or even a rapid heartbeat for no apparent reason. This is because your energetic system is working at full throttle, absorbing the new waves of expanded consciousness. It is no exaggeration to say that energetic sensitivity is so heightened that you can feel the energy of an environment before you even walk through the door. Want some practical advice? Keep a bottle of energized water nearby. Just leave it in the sun for a few hours and the universal energy will help you hydrate and balance your energy. These physical adjustments, while disconcerting, are clear signs that your spiritual transformation is in full swing. Each passing discomfort announces that the body is adapting to nonlinear time and the approaching inner awakening. It is as if the invisible gears of your being are lubricating themselves to function in harmony with the flow of life. And as you go through these changes, one thing becomes evident: old priorities begin to fade, and a new focus approaches in full force, guiding your steps to what really matters. There comes a time when, suddenly, what once seemed essential, such as status, material possessions, or the relentless pursuit of external recognition, simply loses its luster. It's as if the universal energy whispers in your ear, "Hey, there's something much bigger than that." You begin to value authenticity, feel a deep desire to live in alignment with the flow of life, and seek experiences that raise your energetic frequency. A practical example: instead of accumulating objects, you start to invest in experiences such as self-knowledge retreats or simple moments of connection with nature. And the most interesting thing is that, as you dive into this spiritual transformation, the choices become clearer. That promotion that would require giving up your inner peace no longer seems so attractive. You realize that true soul evolution lies in walking lightly, prioritizing genuine relationships and activities that nurture your expanded consciousness. In fact, many start to seek daily body realignment practices, such as yoga or qigong, to keep energy alignment high and reinforce inner awakening. These small daily adjustments build a lifetime of purpose. By noticing this shift in priorities, nonlinear time makes even more sense. After all, why run if happiness is in the now? By slowing down, you allow intuition to guide you and magical synchronicities to flourish in your daily life. It's fascinating how, at this point in the journey, everything seems to fit together in a surprising way, almost like pieces of a universal puzzle. And speaking of perfect fits, get ready, because this inner change will open the doors to a deep and transformative connection with the very nature around you. It is as if, suddenly, the trees begin to tell you secrets, and the singing of the birds sounds like coded messages coming from the universal energy. When the connection with nature deepens, the expanded consciousness opens up even more to the flow of life. You don't just observe nature, you feel nature pulsing within you. A walk through the forest, for example, is no longer just a walk, it is a true body realignment, where each step strengthens your energetic sensitivity and your intuition guides you to that perfect corner of shadow. Over time, you come to understand that nature mirrors your own ascension process. The seasons show that everything has its cycle, nonlinear time reveals itself in the dance of leaves in the wind. Even synchronicities seem to jump out at you, like finding a butterfly landing on your shoulder at the very moment you think of spiritual transformation. Do you want to deepen this connection? Try mindful gardening or forest bathing, Shinrin-yoku. These practices are true energetic bombs that fuel inner awakening and strengthen your energetic alignment with the fifth dimension. The most magical thing is to realize that when you open yourself to this communion with nature, it also responds. The plants in your house become more lush, the animals seem to perceive you in a different way, almost like old friends rediscovered. This interaction goes far beyond the visual, it is a deep energy exchange that raises your high frequency day after day. And as you surrender to this harmonious flow, get ready, because magical synchronicities begin to multiply in your daily life, guiding you to encounters and opportunities that seem simply written in the stars. Have you ever experienced that moment when you thought of someone and, a few minutes later, the phone rang with exactly that person on the line? Well, this is no coincidence. It's the synchronicities showing you that the flow of life is conspiring in your favor. In the fifth dimension, these coincidences are like beacons illuminating your path towards the evolution of the soul. The universal energy intertwines with your expanded consciousness, bringing unexpected encounters, unusual opportunities, and responses that arise almost telepathically. Pay attention. Keeping a journal to write down these synchronicities can help you notice hidden patterns and further strengthen your intuition. The most fascinating thing is that the more you live in energetic alignment, the more these synchronicities intensify. It is as if the high frequency of your energy creates a direct bridge with nonlinear time, where past, present and future dance together in the same rhythm. Imagine, for example, that you are thinking about starting a new project and suddenly find a person who presents you with exactly the resources you needed. This type of inner awakening not only brings enchantment but also reinforces your daily spiritual transformation. After all, it is these moments that prove that the universe is listening to you. These synchronicities are subtle invitations to trust in the ascension process and surrender, more and more, to deep self-knowledge. They are like little cosmic winks, saying, "Go on. You're on the right track." When you allow yourself to flow with this energy, your energetic sensitivity fine-tunes to almost magical levels, and the answers to your innermost questions begin to emerge effortlessly. And it is precisely in this state of openness and wonder that, without realizing it, you are already living fully in the frequency of the fifth dimension, only perhaps you have not yet fully realized it. So tell me, now that you recognize these signs, will you continue to ignore the call of the fifth dimension, or will you embrace your ascension process once and for all? How many times have you felt intuition guiding you, but doubted it? And those magical synchronicities that appear as ready-made answers, have you been paying attention to or still treating them as simple coincidence? The time has come to stop seeing your spiritual transformation as something distant and start living it in the present, with authenticity, energetic sensitivity, and expanded consciousness. Remember, it is no accident that you are here, reading these words. There is a flow of life pushing you towards inner awakening, soul evolution, and a bodily realignment that connects you with the universal energy. But the choice will always be yours. Are you ready to live in total energetic alignment and experience nonlinear time as a master of your own existence? If the answer is yes, and I hope it is, already subscribe to the channel and activate notifications, because here we continue this journey together. Come learn more about how to live in the higher frequency of the fifth dimension and transform your life from the inside out. I'll wait for you in the next content.